look at this text, I discover here that as we look at verse 14, it says that she is like a merchant ship, bringing her food from afar. I would like to suggest to you that first of all, she practices industrious provisions. For it says here that she bringeth her food from afar. It says, in the moments of life when need arises, mothers will always assure you that they'll get you what you need. You see, now that's a mother. She will take care of her children and provide for her children. So it's just like a merchant ship. You don't always know where she's going to get it, but somehow, some way, when you need it, you got it. You see, that's a real mother. You know, I know there are a lot of women who have children, but a lot of women aren't real mothers. You see, a real mother will provide for her children. You see, a real mother won't go around looking all dressed up and fine and all primped and privileged, and have her children going around looking like baby's kids. You see, I'm talking about a real mother. You see, a real mother cares what her children look like, and cares about what her children have, and cares about the needs of her children, and doesn't let her children go hungry, but will feed and care for her children.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a real mother. Well, secondly, I'd like to suggest to you from verse 15, it says that she gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plans the day's work for her servant girls. You see, she places care over comfort. She rises up early in the morning while it's still dark, and she goes and prepares for her family. It says that the virtuous mother sacrifices her comfort to provide food for her household, in making sure that the people in her household have nutritional equilibrium. She handles any situation that takes place in a way the balance that she should be in her house. She places the care of her household over her own comfort. She cares about her household. And she's determined that her household will have what her household needs. She will do without in order that her household can have. You see, now, in the society in which we live in this society that says, get all you can for you. You see, this is the society that says, one for all and all for one, and I'm the one that all is for. You see, I'm going to give it all for me. I don't care about anybody else, but a real mother looks out for her family and cares for her family.
Yes, sir.
She cares for her family no matter what it might cost her. She cares for her family and provides for their comfort. Well, we would like to look at verse 16 here for a moment. And it says that she invests in potential. When we look at verse 16, it says that she goes to inspect the field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She invests in potential. You see, as we look at this proverbial writer states that this mother goes to a field, and having surveyed the field, she assumes its potential for yielding a successful crop. After after which she takes ownership of the property.
Yes, sir.
She buys the land because she is able to see the potential in it. She invests in the soil by providing it with seeds necessary to show its productivity. These actions point to the fact that the virtuous mother invests in the potential that she sees in her children. She continues to invest in the Word of God, time, money, energy, and love, knowing that as the seed is dropped, the soil has the potential of bringing a great harvest of success. You see, she looks at her children, and when she looks at them, she doesn't see them as they are now, but she sees them as what and who they can be. You see, a virtuous mother is not one who looks at her children and say that you ain't nothing and ain't never gonna be nothing. You see, a virtuous mother doesn't look at her son and say, you just like your no good daddy. For you see, if he's just like his no good daddy, then you need to think that says that you are no good. Because you are the one that picked him. His children didn't pick him. So if you picked him and he's no good, that means you are no good. You see, if he was no good before you picked him, if he was no good after you got with him, you ought to have sense enough to know that having a child with him won't make him be better. A virtuous woman, she sees potential. See, a virtuous woman is an investor and not a divestor. You see, a divestor is looking for what they can get out and take out. But an investor is looking at what they can give. And a virtuous mother looks at what she can give her child and her children and how she can help them and how she can encourage them in order that they might be all that they can be.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And we need to, as parents, learn how to look at our children and how to encourage our children and how we should bring them up in the way that they should go.
Yes, sir.
And if we bring them up in the way that they should go, that means that we have to be parents that they can look up to. You see, I'm sick and tired of folks looking at so-called superstars as role models. You see, they go and look for somebody that's a high-profile figure. Don't you know the higher the profile, the bigger the downfall? A child should never have to look outside of his or her home for a role model. Every parent ought to be a role model for his or her children. And the virtuous mother is letting us know how to be role models for our children.
Yes, sir.